My family has owned a ranch out in the country for generations. It's a huge piece of land, our little slice of heaven. But recently, a new housing development popped up right next to us, complete with a brand new, very nosy homeowners association. The main road leading to our ranch had been a public access road. For as long as anyone could remember, it was the only way in or out for us, for our suppliers, for anyone visiting. One morning, I drove up to find a massive, brand new fence blocking the road. A big, shiny gate stood right in the middle, locked tight. There was a sign posted on it, "Private property. Access for HOA members only." I was floored. They had completely cut off our access to our own home, our own land. I called the number on the sign, and the HOA president, a guy named Mr. Thompson, answered. He was smug, condescending, and told me the road now belonged to their community, and I was out of luck. He said if I wanted access, I'd have to join the HOA and pay their exorbitant fees. I tried to reason with him, explaining that this was our only way in. He basically laughed and said it wasn't his problem. My blood was boiling. This wasn't just an inconvenience. It was an attack on my family's legacy. For weeks, we were forced to use a muddy, barely passable dirt track that wound through the backwoods. It was a nightmare, especially for our large trucks and equipment. I spent countless hours at the county records office, digging through all deeds, surveys, and property maps. My grandfather always said, "Know your land, inside and out." I was determined to find a way to fight this. After days of searching, I found it. A dusty, 100-year-old document. An easement agreement tied to a tiny, forgotten parcel of land. This sliver of land, less than an acre, was situated right where the new gate was built. And crucially, the deed for this tiny plot came with an exclusive, unbreakable right-of-way, and get this, the original charter for the gate itself. It turned out, the original landowners who sold the property to the developers had carved out this one tiny piece, and sold it separately, decades ago, to a holding company. That holding company had long since dissolved, and the property was now up for a tax auction. Nobody wanted it because, on its own, it was useless. But to me, it was the key to everything. I went to the auction. No one else was even bidding. I bought it for a ridiculously low price, practically pocket change. The next day, I drove up to the gate with the new deed in my hand and a very large, very old iron key. This key was part of the original charter. I now owned Mr. Thompson and a few other HOA members were there, looking smug as ever. I walked up to the gate, and Thompson started puffing out his chest, telling me to get off his private property. I just smiled, held up the deed, and said, "Actually, you're on my private property." His face went from arrogant to confused. I explained that I now owned the land the gate was built on. He scoffed, saying it was impossible. So I pulled out the old iron key. It slid into a hidden, old-fashioned lock on the gate post that their modern electronic system had been built around. With a loud clank, the gate swung open. The looks on their faces were priceless. They were utterly stunned. But I wasn't done. I informed them that according to the original charter I now held, I was entitled to charge a toll for anyone using my gate on my land. I told them I'd be sending them an invoice for every car that had passed through since they built it. And from now on, every HOA member would have to pay a toll to get to their own homes. The panic set in immediately. Suddenly, Mr. Thompson was a lot more interested in finding a reasonable solution. He begged me not to charge the toll. I told him I'd consider it, on one condition. The HOA would have to pay to remove the fence and gate entirely, restore the road to its original public access state, and issue a formal, public apology to my family. They had no choice. Within a week, the fence was gone, the road was open, and the local paper ran a story about the HOA's embarrassing defeat. Sometimes, the oldest keys open the newest doors. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.